Oh, wow. Ooh. Man, normally you have to summon a Trooper of the Night for that kind of action. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xerath Prevails. Galactic Legend Ahsoka has been announced. The Naboo raid is in full bloom. It's going. Anyways, we have a crazy new Datacron set that has been released, and I don't know what to do with my 8.4 million GP account. Well, I do, but let's talk about what my plans are. So let's just jump right into. Whoa, we're in the game. This is madness. This is my Prevailman account, folks, and it has 2 Galactic Legends. It's in Kyber 2, and I don't really chase Galactic Legends on this account. I buy what I do is I log in 1 time per day, and so we don't get energy refreshes. I spend $10 a month on the Conquest Pass. That kind of, in a way, a little bit helps replace the lost energy from the bonus energy. It's an alt, guys. I have 3 accounts. This one gets the least love because it's the second alt. It's like my alt. Anyways, at 8.4 million, we're in Kyber 2. We have 2 Galactic Legends. We have a 4-star Profundity. We have a 7-star Executor. I have most of the Conquest characters. I unlock the Conquest characters after 6 months instead of 3 months because I only get crate 5. We do it the lazy way, and it's established at this point that you can watch my videos on it. In fact, that you can unlock Conquest characters after 6 months if you only get crate 5. You just have to do it consistently, and so that's what I've been doing. So we still don't have Queen Amidala unlocked, but she'll be there in a month and a half or so. Anyways, we have 2 Galactic Legends. It's wonderful. But we're going for effectiveness, folks. That's what we're working on. So we're working on effectiveness. We're trying to get out, stay relevant as much as possible, and Galactic Legend chasing is a little too mainstream and boring for what I want to do anyways. I like to have a lot of responsivity on this account, a lot of good counters in GAC, etc. And now we want to also add a bunch of utility on the new raid. So since the last time I updated you guys, which was about 2 months ago, a little bit less, probably about 7 weeks or so, it was on like May 16th or something like that. And I think right now I'm recording on July 9th. So anyways, we have Reva, we have Captain Rex. They were only at gear 12 last time, so they added a few relic levels. We have Bane and Ben, who were not even unlocked yet, which I got those both unlocked, which was exciting. Really helped in GAC. They both have Omicrons and a bunch of relic levels. Stap wasn't yet ready yet, and now he's relic 5 with an Omicron as well. I had 5 stars on Paz and IG-12 and Grogu, which you guys can go and look in the video description. I'll link it. You guys can watch my update video from about 2 months ago. And because we have so much new stuff that have been coming out, I want to be able to plan this, show you guys what I'm doing. There's a lot of people asking me. So anyways, we've been working on, these are the last 2 characters to help us be able to unlock Bo-Katan Mandalore. So that's exciting. And then I did pick up the Lightspeed bundle, which is a really good deal. It really helped. None of them had relics yet, so we added another 20 relic levels. But beyond those, but we didn't earn that. This account spends $10 plus whatever it spends on Lightspeed bundles, and that's what we spend on this account. Nothing more than that. Otherwise, we added 7, 12, 24, like 30 relic levels in less than a couple months. Not too bad, folks. Not too bad. Things that we need to work on, however. I only have 2 Galactic Legends. I'm not particularly close to any of the other 6, unfortunately. I also need Inquisition, I have Riva at Relic 5. She's hanging out with Seer and Malicos because it's a novelty item, but it doesn't really do that much. But man, they cost a lot to upgrade, guys. They're like 2,600 Kairos or something like that, if once you include Grand Inquisitor in there. Bo-Katan Mandalore. You guys can't see Kelleran Beck, but he is Relic 7. He's ready to go. And the one thing that I keep forgetting about is I don't have a good 5th member of this squad. It's either going to have to be Bo-Katan or Armorer. I haven't decided yet which one we're going to do. Also, I've been losing to Malgus lately, even though I have Baby Cal unlocked on this account. And part of that is because Jedi Knight Luke needs to be geared up, but he requires Kyrotech that I don't have to spare. I have to put it on Paz Vizsla and Bo-Katan Mandalore. But we do have and Bastila close as well. They're both requirement characters, both extremely strong Jedi for various reasons, and I just don't have them yet. So that's something I need to be working on. My Gungans, I've just been farming them. I farm all the things, even if I'm not gearing them, because that way, if I have to panic and gear something, at least I don't have to farm it first. So I've just been doing the really simple, 5 attempts per day. And I figure I'll farm Tarpals once we have all of, because it's in the Cantina, so we can farm him as soon as they like keep throwing free shards at us. So we may as well keep grabbing them, and we'll just see how many we get. By the time the other Gungans are farmed up, then I can just start working on Tarpals, and there's no real. I'm obviously not gonna get to Jar Jar yet. Like his event is scheduled for sometime in August. I won't make it for that, but probably in November I can make it. So, we're really not on a huge rush. We're just on a slow burn there. Queen Amidala still needs it. I've been working on Padawan Obi-Wan, trying to get him up and running. Master Qui-Gon isn't farmable yet. And then I'd like to be working on some troopers. I'd like to work on the Marauder crew as well. And, I mean, one of the reasons I want to work on Inquisition is we can start using Chimera to counter Leviathan, which is something this account desperately needs. We really need a way to counter them. And so, having a Scythe, it's available to unlock. I just don't have Grand Inquisitor yet. So, and I need to work on my second sister as well in order to get her, or to get the Interceptor up and running. Similarly, I need to get Iden up and running as well. I have the Defender farmed. Obviously, not that usable where she's at gear 10. So, Negotiators also. I have the Marauder farmed. I have Bad Batch farmed, but they cost a lot of Kyrotech, and honestly, their new thumbnails are really just so ugly, folks. Just horrible. The new hotness in this game is going to be Imperial Remnants. They've already announced that, basically, and maybe it's going to be its own squad or whatever, but I do have Dark Trooper Moff Gideon available. I would love to get this squad up and running. It's a very strong squad, and there's a lot of requirement characters here anyways. Lots of good reasons to work on them, but man, there's just so much to work on. So, in terms of raid teams that we need to be working on, there's Gungans. The Queen Amidala team is, obviously we only need 3 or 4 characters for that. I don't have Cam even unlocked, folks. I've been just cowardly. I don't want to spend my GET3 on his really stupid, expensive shards, so I haven't been, and it's probably not good to be as undisciplined as that, but that's just where we are, folks. So Ki-Adi-Mundi, he actually was at 32 recently. I did spend like the 1300 GET3 to buy 5 shards. It's just so awful, guys. Such a terrible price. But then I have the rest of the team for the most part. I don't know how the team's going to do without Ki-Adi-Mundi, and I don't think I'm going to be able to farm him in time anyways. I don't know if it's worth it, guys. I'm just not sure. And then, finally, you can see my Darth Maul is pathetic. Darth Sidious is also pathetic, but then, we've got a pretty decent start on the Separatist team. So, things that we're thinking about for raid teams. And we also have for Sith Eternal Emperor requirements. If I do work on some of these things, guys, like if I get Sidious and Maul up and running, then, it will be a step closer, obviously. And If I get Veers, that's one of my targeted troopers up and running, we'll be good to go. If we want to do the Chimera counter to Leviathan, we need to get our Thrawn up to Relic 6-ish. Anyways, like, a lot of these characters will be done. We could kind of be in striking distance to work on, say, the Eternal Emperor. That's not really the goal, but that's just kind of how things play out these days in the modern world of roster planning. So, yeah, that's something to be keeping our eyes on, at least. So what am I actually going to be doing? We're not gonna just tell you what, guys. I feel like I'm in the Stone Age here. I do. It feels so dumb to be still working on Bo-Katan Mandalore. She feels so, 2002 ago or something. I know it's not even that long, but things move along in this game so quickly that it's easy to lose sight of. I mean, she's only been out for like 7 months, right? Like even less than that, and so she's not like an old character by any stretch, but this isn't the new hotness, right? Like, they've announced a ton of stuff. This isn't even part of the new wave of things. Like, we have all of the Naboo content, and now we're moving toward Ahsoka content, and these aren't part of that at all, unless you count, like, what's her name, Sabine being kind of part of it. But also, though, this team is going to counter Galactic Legends for me. It's going to be a very significant and powerful team for this account. And I've Kelleran Beck at Relic 7. Like, it would be a significant and fairly significantly stupid thing for me to just drop this farm when I'm so close. Even though it's still going to take a while to get Bo-Katan up and running, and then I have to farm Bo-Katan or Armorer as well. It's gonna be a ways to go until this team is up and running fully. I just don't think at this point I've spent too many resources. Like, what am I gonna do with just a random IG-12 and Grogu character plus Paz at gear 12? Like, nothing. So we gotta finish what we've started, right? That's important. Maybe we postpone the 5th character. Maybe we can just do 4-man for a while. I don't think that's probably wise, but maybe that's what we need to do. But we need to finish that off. I also need a reliable Jedi team, folks. And so I think Jedi Knight Luke, I looked it up, he's only 400 total Kyrotech. They didn't get the memo that eventually any good unlock character is going to cost at least 500 Kyrotech, if not 600 or 700. So work on him. Basti doesn't even need any relic. Any Kyrotech anymore. I already played that, so she just has overlapping pieces. She needs like a gear 12 or a shield generator that hey, Paz, that's the one he needs as well. So I think, guys, I've been losing to Malgus in GAC. It's traumatic and awful, and it needs to stop. And I think Jedi Knight Luke needs a Zeta, at least one, and then he needs gear. And we need to get him Relic 7, is what I think. Okay, so eventually, we don't know how Master Qui-Gon's going to be farmed, but what I do know is the majority of the damage that you do in the raid with this team is with Padawan Obi-Wan, and he is very rapidly coming to fruition. That's an awkward way to refer to it, but he's getting there. He's getting pretty close to done. Like, he'll be done farming in a few days, and so, well, I think he might be the next thing I'm actually going to work on. Other than Bo-Katan and the Bo-Katan team, and then maybe Jedi Knight Luke first. But my guess is that we even move this up once in priority, guys, because this will help with the raid long term. Even if we're not using Master Qui-Gon and it knocks our score way down, this team should be up and running in a month and a half, and I think putting some priority on at least Padawan Obi-Wan is going to do us some good. And then we're going to work on Jedi. Let me tell you about my Jedi. Just kidding. Also, working on Maul and Sidious. The thing is, they're old enough characters, they don't even need Kyrotech. Well, Sidious needs, I guess, he needs his bottom Kyrotech. But, Maul will need that eventually as well. He's only level 50. Oh my gosh, so stupid, man. They're gonna need Zetas, aren't they? Oh man, that's so awful. Okay, but we also, maybe we'll be Grandmaster Yoda, I guess we could bump him up to Relic 5 here. Mace as well. We're gonna have to, I need to do some research, folks, but I need to figure out what team this is going to be able to run without Ki-Adi-Mundi, if it's actually still viable, or what, if we need to put Kelleran Beck here instead, and we need to do some research, but this is something that we're gonna have to put a Relic, we're gonna have to put a Zeta on Luminara. Like, my next 3 are gonna be so awful, like, Darth Maul, Darth Sidious, and Luminara are my next 3 Zetas. You kidding me? What ridiculousness, man. Well, we should just use ETH for his leadership. It's good, man. It's a good leadership. It's brief. It's 5 words. It's very brief. Not unlike some people's underwear. I don't know where that came from. Gungans. Here's the thing, guys. Gungans, yes, I do want to work on them. I'm gonna need to get them to Relic 8. Like, this is a huge project. One thing I will point out, though, even after you add Jar Jar to him, to this group, this is one of the cheapest Kyrotech speaking new, like, legendary level characters in the game. Like, of the more recent ones. Like, it's cheaper, I think, than Starkiller. It's cheaper than Jedi Cal. Cheaper than Inquisition. Like, yes, it's still expensive, and I'm not saying that it's just like a bundle of joy or whatever, but it is something that you can kind of, like, it's not a terrible thing, and you're gonna want to invest in it anyways. Long term, it's going to be a significant and powerful squad. Even after their Datacron goes away, even after the raid goes away, it's still going to be a relevant, strong squad as far as I can tell. So I think it's worth working on as just a slow burn. And I mean, November just feels like forever from now, and it sounds cold and awful. It makes me feel like we should go murder some kind of enormous bird to take our frustration out on, and then eat said bird. Sounds wonderful. Also, though, I think once Night Trooper, I don't have any, like, there's no reason to gear him up right now early on or anything, but we need to be keeping a good, like, an eye out for this team. I did gear up Death Trooper. He was low gear. He's gear 12 now. That's as far as I'm going to take him. I'll probably do the same thing for Stormtrooper, because it doesn't require any Kyrotech to get there once again, and so I'll probably be working on this team a little bit passively, just to get us within striking distance, just in case this team ends up just blowing up, and Night Trooper is the one thing that makes it really strong. We don't want to miss out, so kind of keep it in striking distance if we can. And then, will I ever work on Inquisition? I don't know, guys. Maybe I'll just try to do like 1 per month or something. Just like, okay, here, we'll get you gear 13 this month, Second Sister, so I can use your ship. And then the next one, and just slowly get them. Maybe that's the best approach. One way or another, we need to be working on them. They're one of the most transcendent, amazing squads, especially as they kill Galactic Legends. They stop Galactic Legends. They do all kinds of Galactic Legendy things. I should be working on them. Yeah, we're not working on Tuskens, guys. They have a total of 4 levels across the 5 Tuskens on my roster. Holy balls. Okay, and so that's what I'm going to work on, folks. In terms of Datacrons, here's the thing, guys. It's too overwhelming. It is madness. Yes, I'm going to be focusing on getting a lot of the good, wordy level 6s for all of my stuff. That's going to be the biggest priority. But I'll roll to level 9 first for the majority of them, and then we'll pick and choose what things we want. We're going to focus on defense percentage a lot, and then if I can get Sabine, I really want her level 9. And then the other ones that are relevant to this account, I guess, there's none of them that are at Relic 5 yet that can use the level 9 yet, but the Sabine one is going to be really strong, and probably, maybe that's what I'll do for the next 4 months. I'll just use Sabine with Bo-Katan and Mandos that way. And then I don't have to do a 5th yet, but the Nest one looks pretty good. The Wampa looks pretty good, and I already have the gear. Like, we just need a couple Relic levels. We could probably spare those if we happen to roll them, and they would make the squads that I use very consistently significantly stronger. So that's kind of what I'm planning, folks. We're all over the place, but I think right now we're in the month of pain, where we just need to put a lot of gear onto our raid tunes and characters and squads. I'll be putting out raid videos here pretty soon. I just don't have the footage yet, so we'll be working on that as well. What are your thoughts, though, folks? What should everyone be working on right now? I would love to know. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails. Oh, and go look at the Ahsoka requirements for as a GL. I think they announced 2 new ones. Go look, guys. Maybe I'm just crazy. Take care.